Still working.
So you talked about Google Maps. People use it religiously.
Okay, so yeah, so just to back it up, and I know we've talked about like so many different things, but we were talking about organic and social media and all that kind of stuff. And just to give people, and we'll come back to the social media thing and the business cards, but just to give you an idea, okay, of how much Google has changed and their algorithm has changed and how people's search has changed. When, Yahoo used to be like a really big search engine. All my friends had a Yahoo email, but it was so busy. It was kind of like MySpace, right? It had videos going on in news feeds. It was just too much, took forever to load, and I'm impatient, so that's why I started using Google. So Google, obviously now is the #1 search engine, but Google introduced a lot of different things before it got to where it is now. So before, 10 years ago, you would Google something, and you would get all these organic listings. So I made Google massage therapist, and I would get some guy in Arizona. Well, it doesn't really help me out. I'm in Austin, right? So that happened a lot. So you would just get some guy who'd been in business a long time and who was doing search engine optimization, but he's not anywhere near me, so who cares, right? So then they introduced Maps, and I don't quote me, I want to say Maps came out in 2007, which was brilliant, because now it's like, that business has been verified as a business, it is local, it is within your area, and it's going by your IP, so it's like, if you put in Austin, it's going from the Austin epicenter, right? Or it's going from wherever you are, or wherever your location is. So now, people know to kind of just skip past the advertising block, right? Go straight to Maps, and then look at the reviews or look at where they're located to see if it's geographically where I want them to be. So you go to like nearest grocery store or nearest bar, right? Yeah. And you find it. So you have to remember that like all of this stuff, like you were saying, is connected. Everything is connected. Everything is evolving. Even when you look at like how people interact today, Google just changed their algorithm last year that if your site is not mobile friendly, you drop extremely heavily in the rankings. So I don't know if you guys have been to a website where, and I hate to say a lot of government sites are not updated. So like you can go to probably like a social security site or something, and you've got to scroll back and forth left to right, and the windows are all small, and you've got to make them big, and you're like, oh my God. So that's a non-mobile friendly site. That is actually getting pinged by Google now as, hey, you know what? You haven't even updated this site in this century. So get on the ball, because guess what?
That's the little shifting and change. It can be daunting because it seems like so much. Even having people, maybe if you're a fresh massage therapist watching this, it seems confusing. You just have to keep watching and keep hearing from video to video what we talk about. It'll start to make more sense. That's also why in the Massage Entrepreneurs group on Facebook I talk about these things, because people can ask a more specific conversation that doesn't wind quite as quickly as we are verbally.
Right.
You just have to adapt. What it is you produce really good content. What do people want to see? What do people watch? Which is why everything's shifting towards video.
Exactly. But to also finish what I was saying is like, you have to remember that 10 years ago, everybody was using a desktop or a laptop, right? Now it's like more people use mobile than anything, and exactly. So you will do all your research on this device as opposed to going to your desktop 10 years ago. That's a huge thing. And now they've got watches that I had. So that's why your site and your real estate has to be adaptable, because if you go and say, oh, I'm going to do this, okay, but guess what? I may be looking at your site on my huge big screen TV in my living room, or I might be looking at it on my watch, and I better be able to see it on both, right? Because if not, then you're losing out that market share.
I have a question that relates to me and my own egocentric way of doing things. On my website, when I look up Google Analytics, which gives me that information where my traffic
So you do have analytics installed. Yes. I was actually going to go into that. So,
yes.
Okay, well.
But now I have a question.
Tell them all about
it. There's something where, like, if somebody clicks on your website and within a certain time frame they leave.
There's a bounce rate.
A bounce. Okay. I'm dying to know this because I know what my bounce rate is, okay? What's the average
a good
bounce
rate? Okay. So I will tell you my personal opinion on bounce rate. So 8 years ago, I really goaled to keep my bounce rate very low. Like I wanted my bounce rate and my clients' bounce rates to be under 10 to 15%.
Okay.
Okay? However, personally, I don't really care about bounce rate that much anymore, because I'll tell you why. Because of what we just talked about, how devices have changed and people are now searching more on their mobile than on their desktop. So back in the day, so like I go to your website, I don't want a bounce rate. I want to know that you went to my website and it was so engaging that you looked at least 2 to 3 pages and you stayed on there for 4 to 5 minutes and blah, 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 blah. However, today, if you're on your phone and your site is built properly, you may just go to my site, take a quick look at it, and click my number and call me. And you bounced off my site. That doesn't mean I didn't make an appointment. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So your site is so tied to other things, because I can go to your site just to get your address, and I just put it right into Maps because I just needed the address. It doesn't necessarily mean I could be on my way to give you money right now. So who cares about the bounce rate?
Yeah.
Or I can call you, or I can go to your social media page. I just wanted that portal to get there.
Yeah.
So I don't really focus on bounce rates as much.
But I wonder what average is across industries, because you know more about this.
It honestly depends. I have people now that have bounce rates of like still that are in the teens, and then I have some that are up to like 30 and 40, but they're multi-million-dollar companies, so it's not killing.
But they're drawing tons of traffic.
Yeah, they're still drawing the traffic, but we have clients who make reservations via phone, so they're just basically going to it and calling, because I can see, I'm like upset. Our bounce rate's 28%, but then the actions on the account is in the hundreds. So we're not doing something wrong, because obviously they're going to the site and calling.
Yeah, and that's part of the thing too when it comes to all of this. Like, my bounce rate is currently less than 1%. I like that, but at the same time, I'm busy enough with clients that I'm not fighting, tooth and nail to get more. I mean, I want more, but it's a different kind of business problem to have. Where long term, when you're on the first page of my website, it's like, download your free Thai massage workbook.
Right.
Schedule an appointment now. There's a call to action. And the thing is, even when it comes to phone calls, I didn't want to have online scheduling on my website, because I was like, I don't want to pay $20 a month for online scheduling.
Yeah, for somebody else to do my booking.
Yeah, why would I do that? And then we installed online scheduling, and I went, oh my God, I'm saving hours a week in phone calls.
Yeah.
They did, when are you available? I don't know. What's going on? What just
I'm not booked out in front of me, right.
And the thing is, all they did was go, here's when he's available. I can look at my calendar, and they could book at 2 o'clock in the morning, and it kicked through an email.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. So, and again, it depends on the industry, right? Because you may see 30 people a week, whereas a restaurant that we have downtown sees 3,000 people a week. So obviously the bounce rates are going to be greatly varied, right? Because we have people who get 90,000 hits a month on their site. So that's a lot of traffic. So that doesn't mean that every person of 90,000
Okay, I need to turn this off. I need to stop giving away free content, because I need to hire this lady to help me. Because if I was getting 90,000, listen, I would be rich beyond my wildest dreams if that was the case.
He's going to be the wellness center, but he doesn't live here. He's in Barbados.
Barbados, yes. Well, we can put a nice...
I'm in the Caribbean.
We can put I guarantee you, with a green screen, we can make it look like we're in Barbados.
I was going to say, exactly. Just put your Corona and your deck chair out there. I'm feeling it. But so again, does that make sense that it kind of depends on the business?
Yeah, no, I was just interested because you know more about it than I do. And my drop off, what do you call it again? It's
your drop off in your analytics.
No. When they hit the page and then go away, they don't stay on.
Yeah, that's your bounce rate.
Bounce rate.
Right.
Yeah, my bounce rate was extremely low, but I can also see that there's a large majority of the people who come through the website. 2/3 is new traffic.
Right.
And that means that those
Which is
people
huge.
Potentially, because I'm getting at this rate, I'm getting about 2 downloads a day. Every day, I'm getting 2 more emails.
Okay. That's
and it doesn't sound like a lot, but in the course of a year, just organically, that means I'm generating like 700.
Yeah,
emails.
that's a lot.
Yeah.
Especially just for having a presence up, and you're not actively going to see them; they're just coming to you.
Yeah.
So that's a lot.
And being able to maintain that sort of communication, I think that if you are an entrepreneurial-minded LMT, I think it's hard in the beginning when you don't even have a website. Yeah. It's hard to process all of it and go, wait, how I'm getting emails? Like, It seems like there's so many layers and so many steps, but it really does get to the point where you're just juggling, and you've juggled 3 balls so many times that when by the time you got to 5, you're like, oh, it was just another step.
Yeah.
It was just another step. The challenge is you don't know how to like use the emails to then increase marketing, which then does what? Well, if I send out an email to 6,000 people, which my email list is about at this point, if I send out an email to 6,000 people, there are hundreds of people clicking on links to go to my website, which Google sees, correct?
Right.
Exactly. And you're just increasing traffic, you're increasing information flow.
Well,
and I'm continuing
also,
through the website, through the social media, I'm just giving.
Of course. And then also
content.
it lets you be more creative and innovative for a lot less money, right? So, for instance, you have something...
Creative and innovative for less money.
I mean, it's
therapists all day long are complaining to me they don't have clients. They're not on Facebook, they're not on G+, they're not on Snapchat, they're not on Twitter, they're not on Instagram, they're not making videos with the technology that Hollywood had 60 years ago in their pocket. And you complain to me that you're broke? There's a reason. So don't even get me started. Ugh.
Well, alrighty then.
No, and the thing is, it's because I see it in my industry specifically.
Oh no, yeah.
And here's the thing: when I'm saying that, let's go even further. So I do have that presence. Let's say you were a massage therapist. I literally have a hard time. It's changing, but I have a hard time finding other therapists with content like I have to get them to video blog on my website to form alliances with.
Yeah.
To increase, because the thing is, they're not doing it.
Well, because it's time consuming. And
it's time consuming.
It is. Isn't everything? And
listen, Barbados is going to consume my time
hey,
too.
I want to consume my time also. Trust me, I'm right there with you.
So I went off on a tear, but it's because I deal with that daily.
No, but honestly, you're not the only one. Because it does. I think the main thing is to really it's time management, and it's life management, and it's business management, right? So it's like everything can seem like Mount Everest until you figure out that first step. So, you don't have to put together this business plan for like you do for the bank or something, but like just kind of say, hey, you know what, 90-day goals, get this done, start being more active, make myself do this, and hold yourself accountable to it. It's just management, honestly.
The challenge that I see is you are your business, and this allows you to create your personal brand.
Yeah, unlike ever before.
I deal with a very intimate business where I work on people's lives.
No,
but here's the thing: if they follow me on social media and get a sense of what I do and get a sense of what I post, and they're forming a personal connection with me.
Oh, I feel much more comfortable with you now.
And that's why, even when we talked about Hootsuite, that's why I handle, and all my social media channels are different. I post different content to a degree on all of them because I feel like they work better for different content.
Which they do.
The thing is, Massage Envy, and this isn't to pick on a large company in my industry, Massage Envy isn't on Snapchat. But you can be. And that's what I keep trying to say, because the thing is, you're focusing on the fact that you are an individual. And if you're a vegan, you're focusing on the fact that you are a vegan. Because you want vegan clients who talk about vegan food,
right,
who talk about vegan things, and love coconut oil, or whatever it is. Because the thing is, it allows that degree of connection with your target market and your degree of connection with your fans. In the same way that restaurant is looking for keywords related to happy hour, and then she said, wait, no, not just happy hour, mojito. Because I wouldn't think to put in a specific drink that would make me think of a specific restaurant.
And just like an LMT is the same way, right? You may not think about pregnancy massage. You may not think about sports therapy or injuries. But again, that if that's something that you have, you're specialized in,
so
why wouldn't you do that?
Specialized. Here's something else. When it comes to keywords, you're putting in keywords that specialize and target you to those specific keywords, correct?
So actually, I double it up. And again, it depends on the business and it depends on the person. It's a very specific, customizable thing. That's why we don't do just like kind of a blanket, here's what we do for everyone, because again, it depends. If you have a massage practice, right, and you're one person and you have a small studio and you can only take 40 slots a week or whatever, right? Or if you're a larger company and you've got 10 therapists and you can take 10 times that many, there may be a little bit different targeting. So I may go really specific with you to get you top on those places right away. Whereas with a bigger company, I'll do that and do a lot of generalized terms because they can handle that overflow. Yeah. So, and they'll slowly go up in the ranks on both. Whereas we don't want you, I don't want to say we don't want you turning away people, but why get people that you may not necessarily want today when you can get these people that you definitely are your demographic and target them better?
Well, here's the challenge. Massage therapists think they work on everybody. I'm saying generally, there's no specialization. Yeah. And they feel like, well, no, but I don't want to, I don't want to exclude clients, but what I think happens is they don't compete in a sense that nothing that they do stands out. If I look at a massage therapist website, they do trigger point therapy, myofascial release, pregnancy massage, Reiki. They do 20 different things, and my only thought is, what do you do well?
True. So you may want to think of what do you do well, or maybe what's an underutilized demographic in your area. That's why you have to kind of go in and see.
I think when I talk to therapists and I say, listen, who makes more money, a general practitioner
or a cardiologist
or a specialist? And they say, well, a specialist. And I'm like, so why don't you specialize in an area of massage? And they're like, oh, I never thought about that. Because here's the thing.
That's a good analogy.
I would rather just absolutely destroy pregnancy massage in my area than be a generalist. Totally. Which is what I've done with Thai massage, is just completely crush that particular keyword.
And like you said, you come up even in Austin, right?
Yeah.
So that's where the tip that we were talking about before with like the AdWords tool and things like that, again, it depends on where are you located, what type of facility do you have. So if you're out here, take 5 minutes and Google, I can't pronounce it. Was it myofascial?
Myofascial release.
Myofascial release. Google that, okay? Google pregnancy. Google all those things. See who comes up. You may find that no one comes up in some of those. Guess what? You just move front of the line. And if you can still put those general terms as number 6, 7, 8, right? But then maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So let me bring it a little bit further, just based on what I've seen like with my website. So my website focuses on Thai massage, but I can write a blog post and make a video related to whatever. Right. If I decide that myofascial release is something that consumers are searching for, but in much smaller numbers, if I put that as a blog post and I make a video related to myofascial release, how does Google see that since it's not on my first page?
Wait, so you mean like...
So in other words, I'm selling Thai massage, but I've got a blog post and video about myofascial release that I put in a series.
Okay, but how is it on your site? Is it embedded? Is it on YouTube?
I have no idea. Okay. So when I say it's embedded, what I mean is I'm writing a blog post, and then I'm embedding that video in the blog post.
Right, so is it an iframe on the site, or is it like on YouTube and it's taking me to YouTube after I go to your page?
The thing is, I can embed the YouTube video on my site so they can watch it there, but they can also click the YouTube icon and go to YouTube and watch it there.
Okay, and then are you tagging the video?
Yes, down below, yeah.
So
keywords.
You're keywording it. Okay, so it's looking at the keywords and the tags on it.
So, for instance, like this video. When this video comes out, I'm probably going to ask you for advice about what to tag, because I can tag small business, social media, marketing, Austin, all of those things, right?
Right. Yeah. And I would just tag it, because again, that's how it's going to come up if I go to Google and search. If I'm searching for video content, or if I'm on YouTube already and I'm searching for those words. You're going to tag your video appropriately.
And I also want to mention this just so that the people at home understand this. When we talk about keywords, that's one way that people find us. If I take this video, we're talking about not just massage business, we're talking about business generally for small businesses, entrepreneurs. If I take this video and then share it through the Austin Entrepreneurs group on Facebook, here's the thing. We're giving them free content related to the information she's giving us about search engine optimization and about keywords. But guess who those entrepreneurs then want to work with as their massage therapist?
I wonder.
Exactly. and see, that's the whole game is you're using digital content.
Well, it's like we talked about, right?
It's
the link in the chain. It's the link in the chain. Yeah. It's the link in the chain. It's the link in the chain. And again, it's credibility, right? And it's branding. So, and that's another thing I did want to kind of touch on, if you don't mind. So back to like you were saying about your business cards. Okay, so we can agree or disagree. I definitely do think you should have some business cards. I'm going to get on you after this. So, only because I completely agree with you that I do think, I know with myself, probably 80% of business cards do end up in the trash can, right? However, people do kind of still expect you to have them, especially over a certain age group or demographic. And again, sometimes it's not always appropriate where we are. You might be able to say, here's my card, whereas I may not be able to get on my phone, or I may not have the app, ready or whatever. But that being said, branding is also a really big deal, and it will also help with your SEO and your recognition. People want to know who you are, and they want to be able to know that when I talk to Robert, it's somebody who knows what he's talking about, who knows what he's doing. There's a trust factor there, and especially in L&T field, because like you said, you're touching people and they're mostly naked, right? So it's like
naked.
They're naked. So I am unclothed. So it's like, honestly, I have to have a certain amount of comfort factor, right, to really want to deal with you, and especially as an independent, because I do think that a lot of people go to a larger facility like Massage Envy because they feel like it's more comfortable, it's a more professional environment.
Yes. And here's how you get over that hurdle.
Exactly. Because, so when I was actually in college, I was minored in psychology. And it's funny, one of the things that a story that they taught us, which I always thought was the craziest thing I ever heard, was making people familiar with you, and how to make people comfortable and familiar with you. So they did an experiment, okay? So they got this couple to write to another couple that didn't even know each other. They picked like a couple, picked another couple like out of Yellow Pages in another state. So basically, Robert, you get a letter from me. You've never met me, right? And I'm like, hey, Robert, just wanted to check in on you and see how everything's going and hope you're having a great week and how's the job, blah, blah. And the couple wrote back like, sorry, I think you have the wrong people because we don't know who you are and blah, blah, blah. I write back again. No, Robert, sorry, blah, 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 we have met. I give you a couple of personal details about me. I keep the conversation going. You write back again. Maybe I do know that guy. Or maybe I do know Sandra. Okay, long story short, these strangers corresponded for like 2 years, okay? To finally, the couple that didn't even know who the people were, they were like, oh yeah, they started asking about the other couple's kids, blah, blah, blah. One of the initial couple that was talking, their son was graduating high school, and they're like, yeah, tell Chip he can come stay with us when he comes to visit New York. These people had never met, had never had any communication. Now, I know I boxed the story telling it, but I'm just saying, people have a certain amount of comfortability, like when they have communicated for a long time. If I have followed you on Facebook for months, 6 months, a year, whatever, when someone says your name to me, I give it credibility now because I know you. You branded yourself with me. I have brand recognition. So one of the things that we always say in a workshop is there's a certain thing to brand recognition, right? You see the golden arches, you know they're golden every time. You don't see the golden arches in purple or in pink. You see them in gold and yellow every single time. That's your brand. So not saying that your brand necessarily has to be a logo per se, but you need to have your brand be consistent.
Many massage therapists, there are some independent therapists, they have successful businesses, and they'll say, well, I don't need a logo, or I don't need, this or that. I don't need a website. I do fine. That's ridiculous. I get all of my business through word of mouth, and here's what they've done. They figured out how to create a brand going around all of that stuff. But here's the thing, when they talk to other massage therapists, those other massage therapists think they can do the same.
No, and it took work. It took work. And again, your brand doesn't have to be a logo. Your brand can be your name. Okay?
Your brand is you.
Your brand is you. Yeah. The brand is you, but it needs to be consistent and it needs to be recognizable. So once I see you, again, I'm comfortable. Yeah, I'm fine to go get naked with that guy because I know him. What's Robert? Come on.
So I get this all the time, and I'll never forget. When I started making videos, it was on a camera that was much worse than this. It was on a flip cam. The audio was horrible. And I cannot tell you how many people would hit my website and they would say, and I quote, "Oh, well, he knows what he's doing. He's got a YouTube video."
Yes. And you know, it's funny. We actually talk about that because we're like, it is so hard to do research now because anybody with a lot of hits is considered a credible source. When I was growing up, you know, you had to be published. You had to be in the Encyclopedia Britannica or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just wasn't whatever some stranger said on the blog was true. But now, if that blog gets 1 million hits, guess what? He's at the top of the page, and that's how you're like, oh, maybe it is true. Maybe the moon is made of green cheese. Like, oh, I didn't know. So, yeah, it gives you a certain amount of credibility, and especially in a field like L&T, you have to have some kind of trust factor, and especially when you're going into being independent, because I do think that's why a lot of people gravitate towards a bigger company. It's not that they're getting a better service. I mean, I'm not going to down talk a certain company right now, but I mean, I know I've been to some of the big boys, and they're terrible, and I'm like, you know.
I decided, once I got to a certain point of fiscal stability, I decided I'd rather have one completely over-the-moon fan than 5 mediocre clients.
Right? And honestly, that's...
And the thing is, when it comes to massage, I can only work on so many people.
Exactly. You're limited on time.
And I'd much rather... I kept telling people I'd rather be the Grateful Dead. And they're like, what? I'm like, listen, the Grateful Dead never released, to my knowledge, like a platinum album. Mm-hmm. They weren't known for their recordings, but they had 100,000 hippies following them around in vans.
And still following.
And the thing is, and they didn't care what you thought about their music. They were making millions upon millions of dollars. They did exactly what they wanted to because they reached their target market.
Yeah, and they didn't have to compromise.
And exactly, they did what they wanted, and that's where I find myself. And it's also, just based on my own experience, where I'm kind of trying to pull massage therapists towards that. It's not what I do specifically. It's having them do what they want to do. So if I have a massage therapist who says, listen, I don't really like doing cream and glide at all. I want to do all myofascial release. I'm like, well, do that.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I don't think, well, the consumers are coming in for a massage. And I'm like, no. The consumers are coming in to feel better. The consumers are coming in for pain relief. The consumers are coming in for stress relief. If you sell them that, they'll buy whatever package you sell them.
And if they have a trust factor with you that you know what you're talking about, I'm going to take, because guess what?
Because you have to become the myofascial release expert, and you have to get the 1 million hits. And you're done.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. If I have enough trust factor in you that you know what you're talking about, I'm going to take you on your recommendation, right? It's like you go to your doctor and he tells you to take this instead of that. Well, I paid this guy for his advice. I'm going to probably take it.
Yeah.
And especially if I have that, I feel like that comfort with you.
Do you know much about Soothe or Zeal?
No.
Soothe and Zeal are the Uber of the massage industry.
Okay.
Where you want a massage, you hit their website, you want somebody to come to your home, you sign up for the session, Soothe or Zeal sends out a text message, the massage therapist gets it, and they come to your home. Soothe or Zeal takes a cut. But here's the thing, they don't offer Thai massage.
Wow.
Because they're hitting the big market, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, they're not offering these smaller myofascial release, these different.
Yeah.
And the thing is, there may be people looking for that I could help working with those companies, but they've ratcheted me out in a way. Make sense?
Oh, wow. Yeah, totally. Wow.
But specialization.
Yeah.
I really feel like, again, I'd rather kill it for one specific category.
Totally. And again, like you don't have to compromise as heavily as you would maybe working someplace where you're like, well, you take whatever is on the books today. You take whatever we throw at you because you work here. You know.
See,
whatever.
I know maybe that's something about an entrepreneur. Like if I had a Mexican restaurant,
mm-hmm.
I don't want to serve just the typical Mexican fare. Like I essentially want to serve something that's got some specific nuance where it's a completely authentic. You know, like the corn tortillas are made, in-house.
Yeah, you want to give it Robert flavor.
It's indigenous Mexican cuisine with mole or whatever it is. I just don't have any interest in being Taco Bell.